Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
All right, and yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. Okay, first of all, I owe you an apology. So last week I went back and looked at some of the video, and because we had three people on the screen, your little banner was
Oh,
blocked.
that's all right.
I was like, oh my God, no. I'm gonna have to next time we do that, I'm gonna have to flip the people because this is the first time we had somebody on where
Right.
you had the little banner. And I was like, where's the what? And I wasn't even paying attention because I'm trying to pay attention.
Right.
And I said, oh no, I done blocked the wood shingle. We
Listen,
can't
they
do
didn't seen it enough.
that. We can't do that. How are you? How was your week?
It was, they have been busy but good because I cannot believe that next week is the last week of October. It's a lot going on.
Sir. And I'm so behind. Can I just tell you how behind I am? I am so behind. So much so that I'm about to be like, forget it all and go find me a beach. I need some peace. I need some peace. Oh, well, I want to say to all my bear cats out there, happy homecoming. I know the folks out there in these cold October streets. So happy homecoming. And then I was supposed to be at somebody else's homecoming, but that didn't happen. So happy whatever it is that they do down there in with Alabama A&M and Alabama State. They have a big rivalry or something.
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
was supposed to be this week, but long story. The people I was going to see, namely my grandbaby, went to go see her other grandmother because she had a birthday. I mean, who does
Oh.
that? Who does that? Y'all ain't come up here on my birthday, so who does that? No. But anyway, so here we are with you all. Yes, it has been a very, very busy week. And just the conversations that have been circling this week have been just off the charts on all levels. It's funny because a lot of the conversation that we had in the meeting after the meeting last week have been has trickled down through the week. Like everybody is sort of seeing the same thing and speaking on the same thing and realizing the same thing. And it's like, and it seems like everybody realized it all at once. And it was like, well, dang, well, yeah, yeah. How we gonna move? How we gonna operate? So more to come on that in the meeting after the meeting. But anyway, but other than that, you've been okay.
Yep.
Okay, good, good, good. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning tea. Here we brew up the hottest topics in healthcare. We discuss health information, news, education, how busy the week is, and how October is almost gone, and homecomings, certification tips, and entrepreneurship. We also just talk about the revenue cycle at large. And as you come in, don't forget to hit the thumbs up or like button. I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, the founder and senior education director of the Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC, where coding education is key. And PRN is a healthcare compliance consultancy located in Cincinnati, Ohio, that specializes in revenue cycle and regulatory compliance and education. When I tell you I had to give somebody a whole spiel on regulatory compliance and education,
Uh-oh.
oh my God. Anyway, and let me ask, do you know what it takes to be a certified marketable medical coder? Do you? Well, before I introduce my co-host, let me share with you information on a free, yes, free email course on the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder.
Are you interested in medical coding, but not sure where to start? And scared of wasting time and resources? Let me help you with the right steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Learn more at bit.ly/5stepscoder.
I need to pull my hat back out. I love that. Anyway, if you are interested in getting more information about the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder, check the video description for the link. So joining me today is my partner in success, my co-host, Mr. Jesse, the registered trademark. Put some respect on his name, the coding nurse. Sir, introduce yourself and tell the folks all about you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jesse. I live in Philadelphia. I've been in healthcare for a really long time. In 2014, I left the bedside and moved into risk adjustment auditing. And during the pandemic in 2020, I created a company called the Coding Nurse LLC, where I help nurses and other people in healthcare with a clinical background transition into the wonderful world of HIM.
And a wonderful world it is, right? And how's that working out for you?
It's coming along.
Okay.
I'm
Even people
doing a
with a
whole.
clinical background. I heard that
Yeah,
clinical background. We ain't gonna block nobody. You got a clinical background. Come on in.
that's right.
We got something for you. So before we jump in, let me remind you that you can join in and add to the conversation. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. Your opinion matters and is welcomed here. So please use the chat. And if you have a question, just let us know that it is a question for us by typing Q first, and we'll be looking for it and we won't miss it. And we make sure that we will answer your particular question. You know, I got some pings. I don't know why I'm getting pings lately over from Clubhouse, but it is the fool still over there.
I didn't even know it was still going on.
Sir, it is the fool over there. They have a Clubhouse Plus that I didn't research, but yeah, I still can't. Well, I read somewhere that they frown upon, pushing the audio outside of, even though you were allowed to let them know, which I did when we were doing it, let the people know that it's being recorded and people can choose to move how they want to, but it's quote unquote frowned upon. I said, well, what? I miss Clubhouse people. Maybe I'm gonna do just a pop-up, like, hey, we gonna pop up, redo something. Or maybe I wonder, can I put stuff up? Well, we'll see. I'll figure something else. Anyway, for those who are just joining us or watching the replay, today we are talking AI versus CDI. The documentation war that changes everything. As soon as I saw this, I thought about you. And then as soon as I saw the comments, I said, oh, yes, here we go. But first, let's get into some church announcements, shall we? Hey. 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 I love that music. I really do. Well, let's see. All right. So church announcements.
Before you get into your church announcements, I was going to be messy for a second. I was going to ask, I wonder if this is the same music that Bishop Marvin Winans plays when he asked for $2,000.
Wait a minute. So you had double lines. There's a $2,000 line. There's a $1,000 line. There's five. I was like, sir. So, and the spin on it has been off the chain. But I'm like, sir. Somebody said the Marvin's just in trouble. I'm like, first of all, she had $1,200 more than I probably would have gave. But sir, just messy. I hope he didn't play our music. Our music is nice.
It's anointed
And drama free. So church announcement. Y'all know we still on shutdown, right? And the only thing I wanted to mention was I saw something about uh, that there's no payments going out to nobody during this entire shutdown. Um, and there seems to be some misinformation and some confusion around this. Let's see. Uh, so the things that they stopped or expired or those types of things, of course, those payments are suspended. So, but traditional Medicare claims under the permanent physician fee schedule, they're still being paid. But the claims involving services that depend on recently expired laws or recently expired actions, either due to or they were going to expire anyway, outside of the shutdown, those things are being held, or they're paying them. They paying you a little bit at a time. Like when we make sure everything is everything, we'll give you the rest of your day. Paying it on layaway, if you will. Folks are getting services on layaway. So the physicians are out here working on a what is it called? The buy now, pay later little things that they got going on.
Oh, Klarna.
Yeah, Klarna for all of them. Yeah, so they're getting paid like that. But some of them are getting paid. So just a couple of things. I heard that folks were just going on and on and on about that. But it's still, it's still a tense time in the medical healthcare realm, because you can't just go out here and spend all your money and, think, oh, but I got X amount of money coming in, because you may not until all of this settles up. So that's all I wanted. That's all I had for the church announcement for the good of the people. Mr. Jesse, did you have a church announcement?
No. I've been so busy.
They working you over there. Nothing's wrong with that. All right. Let me get rid of the banner. All right. So let the tea spilling begin, shall we? Yes, we can. Can we kick it? All right. So welcome back to the Saturday Morning Tea, where we serve up the real talk our profession needs. I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, with my partner in success, the coding nurse. And whether you're sipping that perfect cup of Earl Grey, savoring a cozy chai latte, because it's cold outside, at least it's cold here, or like me, enjoying some good mixture of the two, you are in for quite the conversation today. Today's topic, AI versus CDI, the documentation war that changes everything. Or AI versus documentation integrity. I think that's probably the better title. The battle for CDI's soul. Long time ago, back in 2000, when I started the Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC, I thought our biggest challenges would be keeping up with ICD-10, all the updates and changes that were going to be happening, the Y2K fallout, all of those type of things, and helping physicians understand documentation requirements. If only it could all be so simple, right? But here we are in 2025, and we're having conversations about artificial intelligence that would have sounded like science fiction just a few years ago. All I could think of are the Jetsons. Every time I think of the stuff that's happening today, I'm waiting to see a car fly across my windshield one day. That's what I'm waiting. Now, before we dive into today's piping hot tea, and honey, is it ever steamy? Let me ask you something. How many of you have been following the LinkedIn drama that's been brewing in our CDI community this week? I've heard it on several folks' lips this week. I'm talking about Dr. Terrence Governor's post that has literally everyone from CDI specialists to health information managers to medical coders picking sides like we're at a family reunion discussing politics. This isn't just industry gossip, my friends. This is about the very foundation of everything we've been taught, everything we've taught others, and everything we believe about clinical documentation integrity. All of the things, everything. So grab that mug a little tighter because we're about to unpack what might be the most important conversation of your career. And Mr. Jesse, you know to jump in whenever, however. I'll be watching your body language because I know. Ooh, here we go. All right. So let me paint you the picture. Dr. Terrence Governor, who's the VP of Medical Affairs at Clinintel, saw something that made him break his silence. And when someone in our industry says, and I quote, I tried to stay quiet on this one, end quote, you know we're about to get some real talk. Now, what got him fired up? Well, it was a marketing piece from Smarter DX that Actis and Ahima, because, you know, they the same people under the same umbrella, were promoting. Now, I want to be clear here. I'm not here to bash any company or organization. Not at all. I'm part of the family. It is what it is. We're all trying to solve real problems in healthcare. But the conversation this sparked, that's what we need to talk about. The piece included 5 tips for CDI teams. And tip number 3 is where things get spicy. Are you ready for this? It's titled, Capture What Isn't Documented. Yeah, you heard what I said. Capture what isn't documented. Let me breathe. Okay, now let me read you the exact quote that has our community in an uproar. If a missing diagnosis isn't documented in the physician's notes, can it still be detected? With advanced clinical AI, the answer is yes. AI has evolved to simulate clinical reasoning, connecting the dots between vitals, medications, labs, and other data, even when the physician notes don't provide the complete patient story. Okay, let's just sit with that for a moment. What the hell is what immediately comes to mind? For decades, we've lived by the mantra, if it's not documented, it didn't happen, right? We've drilled this into medical students, residents, attending physicians, and every single person who's ever taken a coding class. It's been our North Star, our guiding principle, our professional DNA. And now we're being told that AI can capture what isn't documented. Dr. Governor puts it perfectly when he asks, do you even read what you're promoting to your audience? The same audience you've been preaching to for years. Again, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. Yes, you did, ma'am. Welcome. I'm just getting here, but I know I didn't hear what I thought I heard. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. She said, so we can just lie now. Yeah. So this isn't just about technology, friends. This is about integrity. This is about what we stand for as health information professionals. Now, I want to approach this with the same balanced perspective I bring to everything at PRN. There are legitimate points on multiple sides of this conversation. So let's start with the AI perspective. Again, healthcare is incredibly complex and patients are getting sicker. Physicians are overwhelmed. And Mr. Jesse's favorite point, all that compassionate sacrifice is catching up. With over 156 100,000 ICD-10 codes and 30,000 data points per patient chart, the human eye simply cannot catch everything. If AI, well, See, I was about to jump right in myself. No, let me wait. If AI can help us identify clinical indicators that suggest a diagnosis the physician intended but forgot to document, isn't that potentially beneficial for patient care? But here's where Dr. Governor's concern hits home, and frankly, where my pearls start getting a little tangled. We're essentially asking physicians to approve or reject AI generated diagnosis suggestions. Think about that from their perspective. They're already frustrated with documentation burdens. They're already feeling like their clinical judgment is being questioned. And now we want to add another layer where they have to validate what a computer thinks they should have diagnosed. And here's the $1 million question, literally, because this is about revenue. Who's liable when AI suggests a diagnosis that isn't clinically supported? Is it the AI vendor, the CDI specialist who approved it, the physician who didn't reject it quickly enough? If only it could all be so simple, right? But healthcare never is. Mr. Jesse,
Not yet.
okay. I thought I heard a sigh. The concern Dr. Govender raises about physician engagement is spot on. We've been struggling for years to improve physician documentation behavior. We've tried education, we've tried feedback, we've tried making it easier, and now we're potentially adding a system that could make physicians feel like their clinical reasoning is being second guessed by artificial intelligence. This brings us to some really thought-provoking questions that I want you to consider, whether you're a seasoned CDI specialist or a new medical coder just starting your fun journey. First question: if AI can detect patterns in clinical data that suggest diagnoses, should we be training our CDI specialists to think more like AI? Or should AI be designed to think more like experienced CDI professionals? This isn't a trick question. This is about the future of our profession. Are we becoming obsolete or are we becoming more essential than ever? Second question: what happens to the skill set of future CDI specialists if AI handles pattern recognition and diagnosis suggestion? Think about what happened to our coders. With all the computer assisted coding and AI suggested coding. What unique value do we bring to the table? I believe that this is where my optimism shines through, that we bring something AI never, ever can: clinical judgment combined with regulatory knowledge, ethical reasoning, and the ability to communicate with human beings about complex medical concepts. But here's the question that keeps me up at night. Are we creating a generation of physicians who rely on AI prompts rather than developing strong clinical documentation skills? I was nervous about that because that was one of the first, because when I commented on the post, that was the first thing I thought about. So if they're already overburdened with documentation and they're already feeling that it's overwhelming and it's too much, and now you're passing the buck over to AI generated diagnoses based off of things that could have been missed or not missed or said and not said. What happens when you get some rogue physicians to be like, you know what? Psh, I ain't got to worry about it. The AI gonna get it. Let them get it every time. I don't. And I said, oh, here we go. Here we go. I don't understand. Anyway, think about it like this. In this one, I'm actually guilty of. If you always use GPS to navigate, do you ever really learn the roads? My husband asks me all the time, ma'am, you've lived in this city all your life. Why are you turning on the GPS? And usually I'm turning it on for suggestions on the quickest way, because oftentimes they know that it's an accident somewhere. I don't know until I get there and I'm stuck in traffic. So I'm trying to use it to kind of navigate. Okay, I got a certain amount of time and I need to be there. maybe they can tell me a different way. I know the GPS of yesteryear used to just like to take you on the damn scenic route. No, sir, and or ma'am, I need to go straight there. But he does have a point. Do you really ever learn the roads? If physicians get used to AI suggesting diagnoses, do they stop developing their own pattern recognition skills? And finally, if it's not documented, it didn't happen, it's becoming outdated in an AI world. What should replace it as our guiding principle? I know I personally don't have all the answers, but I know we need to be asking these questions. Let me get my tea.
No, because when when you sent me this information, I read the article, but I can't really seem to get a grasp on how we even got here. Because I don't know. I'm not a part of Actus. I don't know what they do over there. But as far as a HEMA, there is a such thing as a code of ethics. So how are you suggesting that I don't even understand how this has even become a thing. And then also like with these with any physician, like all anybody has to do is read a discharge summary and you will see exactly what is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, discharge
Immediately.
summaries are ridiculous. You are supposed to, a discharge summary is supposed to wrap up and explain everything that happened.
Wait a minute, she's a fool. It looks like there's going to be a healthcare section on DraftKings.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean,
It just tickled me.
you're supposed to tie all this together, like, and I mean, I see it every single day. Like, all you have done is just copy and pasted the discharge summary from all your other notes that you copied and pasted. You ain't tied up nothing. You didn't say anything was ruled out. It's just
a whole bunch of nothingness, a whole bunch of mess.
period. And the thing is, and it doesn't, and what that whole component that Actus and AAP and AHEMA are trying to push out, that's only for the facility side. Once you get to the payer side, trust me, they will validate. So it doesn't matter what you suggest. If it's not validated, when it comes across my screen, you're not getting
no payment for you.
it's going to be a recovery letter for you.
That too, because
with a downgraded DRG.
Familiar, and it looks like this is a pattern, and this looks like so my question then becomes, well, what am I paying you for? Because part of the payment that you receive involves the physician's work. Look up the definitions of an RVU. Are you working? Isn't documenting your clinical judgment and documenting, based on all that the data points, based on all the information and the actual examination of the patient, aren't you supposed to provide? Well, I think this and the plan of care and treatment. I mean, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Wait till it happens. Okay, so let's get a little practical. This is the part where I try to think a little practical anyway. Because while we're having these philosophical debates about the future of our profession, bills still need to be paid, and careers still need to be advanced, and patients still need quality care, right? So I've identified 3 critical pivots that every medical coder and CDI professional needs to consider. Not next year, not when your organization implements AI, but right now. So pivot number 1, from diagnosis hunter to documentation validator. Now, traditional CDI has been about finding misdiagnoses and opportunities for additional revenue. But in an AI world, we need to become experts in validating whether what AI suggests actually makes clinical sense. You know what? Well, we'll get back to that. Here are your
But
actionable steps. See, we think it. Look, I see. Go ahead, hit it.
if you are the CDI professional that you say you are, you don't need AI to help you.
Especially with the coding knowledge and background that you claim you're supposed to. See, it's all coming. It's all falling out. It's all shaking. It's when you shifting the stuff out, you got the stuff coming out, and then you got the good stuff on the top, right? The stuff is shaking out through the bottom. What is happening here? Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm like, wait a minute. So anyway, start developing expertise in clinical validation methodologies. You should have that already, but take courses on evidence-based documentation review. The AHIMA and ACTIS, both organizations have some resources, actually probably some good resources. They're just a little shady on pushing out Smarter DX's agenda, but which is in essence what this really was. And to Dr. Governor's point, did they even read the stuff before they sent it out? Because he said it came out as a marketing piece with both AHIMA and ACTIS, I think, listed at the bottom of the thing. And a way, it was a marketing. It was one of those. If you want to know more tools to assist and how AI can assist you in your documentation, fill out the information. So it was, give me your email information and we'll send you this. And this was a lot. I think I actually linked it in the
You did. Mm-hmm.
resources in the description. So feel free to take a look at it. All right. So learn to critically evaluate AI suggestions about clinical indicators. Start questioning not just what's documented, but whether what's suggested makes sense given the patient's entire clinical picture. Because when this stuff hits, and I believe these conversations, if it's not already out there at places, it's coming. And people don't think about the end results, the trickle down, what that's going to impact. Also, create feedback loops with physicians that focus on education rather than just diagnosis capture. Make it about teaching, not necessarily just about revenue. I mean, because the reason why they're putting all of this stuff, to me, indicates folks are only thinking about that dollar bill. But it's bigger oftentimes than just that, because if your stuff is not right, your dollars ain't gonna come, period. Pivot number 2, from chart reviewer to technology liaison. If only it could all be so simple as just reviewing charts and making recommendations. But we're moving into a world where understanding technology isn't optional, it's essential. So your actionable steps is gain some technical literacy in AI systems. Understand what it is trying to do, proposing to do, think it can do. Get a working knowledge, if you will, about what's happening with AI systems. Now, you don't need to be a programmer. We're not suggesting that at all. But you do need to understand how these algorithms work and what their limitations are. And think about things that you currently work with, like your favorite social media platform. There's an algorithm behind that. And you can kind of see when you're only being fed XYZ, or you ask a question about something and all of a sudden you see all of these things popping up into your feed. I know right now for Facebook, I'm seeing stuff from people I don't even know. Who are these people? My Facebook has generally been people I know or have had some interaction with. But every day I'm seeing new people. I mean, they're pushing people on you. I don't care about y'all. But those are the algorithms at play. So think about that. Also, develop skills in training physicians on AI integration. Someone needs to help doctors understand these new tools, and who better than us? Also, build competency in AI output interpretation and quality assurance. We need to become the bridge between technology and clinical care. Pivot 3, from revenue optimizer to quality steward. This might be the most important pivot of all. We need to expand our focus beyond DRG optimization to include patient safety, quality outcomes, and the probably most important, regulatory compliance. Your actionable steps. Expand your knowledge of quality metrics just beyond the revenue. Learn about patient safety indicators, readmission rates, and outcome measures. Develop expertise in regulatory compliance related to AI assisted coding, because we got some data on that. It's been around for a minute. The rules are changing and someone needs to know them. Create frameworks from balancing revenue integrity with documentation authenticity. This is where art meets science in our profession. Go
Can I
ahead.
just jump in? Like
You absolutely can.
they are already quality departments. They are already PSI departments. Those are not that's beyond. CDI and coding has enough to do. That's why they have those departments. They're supposed to come in and work out a PSI. They're supposed to come in and work out patient safety. Like
But
that.
it's also important for us to know the why behind what we do. But go ahead. That's all that I'm suggesting. But go ahead.
I just think that given the way the workflows are set up, you can't do that. That's why they have those other departments to do that. I mean, because if you go down a rabbit hole about a PSI, you're not going to meet your quota for the day. You're not,
Correct.
because there's a whole lot of, because then there's a deep there's a whole lot to PSIs, and there's a whole lot to quality measures, and it's a lot, because these the entire problem is production,
That's the
and
problem.
the answer that the answer that people think is going to save the day is AI, and it is not. That's what they really, really, really believe, because doctors are doctors now have production. That's why
Mhm.
they a lot gets missed. CDI has production. That's why a lot gets missed. Coding has production. That's why a lot gets missed. I saw it at my previous job, and I see it every day at my new job. Like, you cannot have it all. You have to pick what you want. And this whole, like Whitney Houston, didn't we almost have it all? You could never. You could never. You have to decide what it is you want, and just let the rest of it fall by the wayside. Because I can look at, if you have any kind of experience in revenue cycle, you can spot things right away. And it's like they just didn't they missed it. And I know why. Like, coders period, but especially inpatient coders, like, that production is ridiculous.
It's killing them.
So of course you're not going to be, you can't go read an echo to make sure that this ejection fraction is right for the appropriate code that the provider assigned. You're not going to have time. You can't, like, I'll have some more stuff for the meeting after the meeting, because it's just that you have to decide whether you want quality or quantity, and just let the chips fall where they may, regardless, based on your decision.
And I believe that a lot of these organizations have already made that choice. They've clearly made that choice, that patient facing, oh, it's all about the quality. Dollar facing, it's all about the quantity. And so what's behind the magic curtain, Oz, is push this out, get this out, go, 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 go. in front of the curtain. Oh, slow walk on in. Slow walk. Tell me all about it. Let's do la 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 la. No. So you're absolutely correct in everything that you said. And I believe we also want to make sure that while our jobs may not be to know or understand all of the things that are happening around us, if you want to be marketable, if you want to pivot, then you do need to have a working knowledge about. And I'm not suggesting, oh, wait a minute, I saw this, let me go get this. No, but you can observe and you can take some time as a lifelong learner to understand, oh, I didn't get that. Let me go back later on sometime and see, well, what does that mean? And what does this mean? And again, I stand 10 toes down that we always need to know the why. We always need to know the why behind what's going on. And I think there's an opportunity here.
So I'll just share an example. I worked someplace, my previous employer. This person had a stage 4. It was not addressed prior within 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I coded it as, not present on admission.
Mm-hmm.
So of course it was the stage 4. So that's like a major hack.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole different department contacts me and says to me that they found documentation that it was present on admission. So I'm like, okay, well, send me the note. Like what date? Because I review every page.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my accuracy was what it was. I'm not missing that. Plus, you always search, make sure you know. So they send me a snip of, not even a whole note, a snip of this nurse's electronic timestamp. Not the note where you can read the whole note, a snip. So I said, listen, if you want to change it, you can. I'm not changing it. That's up to you. But that's the kind of stuff that goes on.
Not a snip of a nurse's timestamp. Wow.
But because you can tell me anything, but when it goes to the payer, do you think the payer is going to accept that little snip that you tried to show to play in my face with? No, they're not.
You tried it.
Exactly.
You tried it. Oh, goodness. Well, I know some of you might be feeling a little overwhelmed right now, and change is never easy, but we're in the profession of change, especially when it challenges everything we know about our professions. Like, well, wait a minute, hold up, time out, hold up, wait a minute. Okay. But here's what I want you to remember. We've navigated massive changes before. Remember, we survived the transition from ICD-9 to ICD-10. Most of us. Some folks was like, you know what, I'm out. And they retired and they left. And they probably should have left a long time ago. But anyway, we adapted to electronic health records. We saw that there was some beauty in not trying to figure out what the scribble was that somebody wrote. But on the flip side, now you have to they done copy, cut, and paste everything in the world. So you reading three times the same thing over and over and over again. We've learned new coding guidelines, new documentation requirements, and new technologies. But this AI conversation, it's just the next chapter in our professional evolution. But we need to stay on top of it. And the key is to stay curious, stay educated, and stay true to our core mission. And as Mr. Jesse pointed out, our ethics. We have a whole ethical documentation that should also guide us. And maybe that should be our North Star. What about ethics? What about that? So ensuring accurate documentation that supports quality patient care. ethically. Dr. Governor's concerns are valid and important. We absolutely cannot lose sight of documentation integrity in our pursuit of technological advancement. But that doesn't mean we should fear or resist all change. Instead, let's be the professionals who shape how AI is implemented in healthcare. Let's be the voice of reason that says, yes, technology can help us, but it must serve patients and providers, not the other way around. And if we stay focused on quality, integrity, and education, this could all be so simple after all. Yes? No?
Yep.
Maybe. All right, all right. Well, that's our conversation for today. I hope we've given you some things to think about, some actions to take, and maybe a little hope for the future of our amazing profession. Even when sometimes we got to go out on a limb and advocate for ourselves, because clearly some of the advocacy efforts in other places is not benefiting us. How about that? Did you feel that tea? Did you the sprinkle right there? Remember, change is inevitable, but how we respond to change is always our choice. Choose to be informed, choose to be proactive, and choose to be part of the solution. Again, I love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Reach out to me through Professional Reimbursement Network. You can find me, Mr. Jesse, on LinkedIn, or send us an email. Let's keep this conversation going. Find the actual post in LinkedIn and add your 2 cents. That's one way to expand and get an understanding of because actually the folks that posted, they were all from all walks of life, and so it's really interesting to see what the folks were saying and how they felt about this quote unquote potential new development. But
go
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead.
No, I'm good. Let me get my tea. I'm grabbing, because anytime you jump up like that, I know I need to grab my tea.
I just think it's time, because you know how just in life period, when things get so out of control, you got to get back to basics. You got to go back to the beginning and start over.
And how many times have you said that?
And this is, we're at this point because we have to go back to the basics. We have to go back to how and why it all started. And we also have to weed out a whole lot of people who are just noise. They're like the teacher on Charlie Brown.
Wah, 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 wah,
Yes.
wah, 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 wah.
Talking loud and saying absolutely nothing.
Oh.
And and you can I can tell, like, that's the thing that annoys me about LinkedIn, because like you can tell by somebody's posts, like, oh, you're the problem. I know where you are. Nobody is really excited to see you come to anything because you have nothing to.
I think that's everywhere. I don't think that's just a LinkedIn issue. I think it's everywhere in all of these groups and all of these things. Everybody wants to say something and maybe not.
But you know what though? But the thing about, because this is the one thing that I do like about Facebook over LinkedIn. See, at least at Facebook, the people know they don't know shit. They know it. And they there to
but
get
some
help.
new people don't know that the people who know that they don't know.
But
if you can follow that trail.
But on LinkedIn, it's just, you got these.
It's just packaged different. But just like we are given discernment to read between the lines, you can read between the lines like, this what you doing? This how we moving? Okay. Now imagine. Now I would be upset though. Well, I think there's a place for everything, because I would be upset if actually I saw some. Don't LinkedIn now have these little short things coming up? Because I was like, what is this? I don't know. It's something that I saw, and I was like, this feels a little different. This doesn't feel like the LinkedIn of yesteryear. So they're probably experimenting and using their algorithms to do things as well. But I think there's a place for like all of them. There's a place for the LinkedIn, Reddit. That's another place where it gets real.
Because like the thing that gets me, see, everybody on LinkedIn is a specialist. Everybody is like at the top of their game. And
No, they're
what
not.
well, they act like it. And here's what gets me. Because like especially well, let me finish my thought. Gargamel, for instance. He always got something to say. And what gets me is I will read the comments. These people are commenting, you don't even work in CDI. How do you know what this man is saying? You have nothing. You have no knowledge to say yay or nay to this. You just want to sound like you a part of something. Stick to your lane. If you work in an outpatient, what can you say about inpatient CDI? Not a daggone thing. I'm not trying to tell no daggone orthopedic surgeon who works in outpatient how to code a knee replacement. I don't do that. I'm going to rely on the people who do outpatient surgery to engage with this man, and I'm going to just eat my popcorn and read the comments. But I'm not going to weigh in like I have some kind of cachet. You don't. And that's what gets me. Like everybody wants to be a part of something.
Add another box to that soapbox. You standing tall today.
I'm telling you, like I'm honest. I find LinkedIn is annoying as heck to me.
Is it?
It really is because I can spot it because I work with people that have that same spirit, and it's just I rebuke it.
Rebuke it. Rebuke that spirit. I love it. For me, I see, because I get people from all walks, from all professions. I'll say that. So it's not just our profession that I'm interacting with. Some of these professions out here, I'd be like, oh my God, it is annoying. But I'm curious about what people think and in our industry. So when I see some comments or when I see certain people's posts, I'm thinking, okay, and most of the times, again, for me, I like to be able to say, I know this person. I've heard this person present. I've seen this person in action. I've worked with this person. I've taught this person. I've learned from this person. This person has taught me, so I try the people that I kind of gravitate around or see, oftentimes there's some sort of connection outside of social media. So it just helps kind of add additional layers on the interaction that I may or may not, or may have had with them. But then what's curious to me is when they introduce me to somebody else, and I'm like, well, what is that? Because they're talking something totally against what normally you talk about or what my understanding of your position and areas are. Why? And then my brain goes down the hole. Well, wait a minute. What's the end game? What's behind it? And so it becomes, which I used to do in corporate America, like, you coming in, what's the end game? To me, there's always the end game. So it's like a drama over there to me. So people come in showing you who they want you to be, even on other social media platforms. But then really, in most cases, in my circle, folks have been 100% genuine. They have been who they are. And they'll say, you know what? I have no idea. I have no clue. I have nothing to add, say, whatever. Or just genuinely curious and ask questions. And that's how most of us do. but even to Dr. Governor's point, that was big. That was something like we all have been taught that, and as to his point, have taught others. So now, what is this? What is so many? To me, is so many layers behind this, and I think we've pulled a lot of those layers back. Like, wait a minute, consider this and consider that, and consider the sources, and consider who said, and
Well, see,
consider the bottom line. Those
well,
are the things that I think you have to think about when you see. And to your point about people who may have commented that don't necessarily work in CDI. I know I don't work in CDI, but what got me more or less was the physician side. And so the documentation piece, because I think it's applicable not only to our CDI professionals, but also to our medical coding professionals, and or compliance professionals. So for me, I see it in different areas. Now, the actual
but
work that y'all do, of
but
course, I
but
can't say a word.
but
Go
here's the
ahead.
thing, like you're because I read his post and the comments. Your comment under that was appropriate because I got exactly what your perspective was, and it was spot on. But you didn't come in like some of these
I know
some of these, like,
exactly.
you know exactly where I'm
I know
going. Like,
exactly.
you you know, great
That would just rub
insight.
you the wrong way anyway.
Yes. Oh, great insight. I'm so glad somebody's speaking on this. Shut up. You've been an outpatient biller for 10 years. What do you know about a DRG? What?
But I think people just it's like yeah. It's like being at the dinner party and everybody talking and you're like, I don't even
Exactly.
want to talk to people right now. I just came to eat.
Exactly. I'm going
I
to
just
sit
came to
here and
eat.
eat my steak. Leave me
Right.
alone.
I don't want to hear the chatter. I don't want to talk about. And
Mm-mm.
so I get you. Because you'll hear something like, excuse me, what did you just say? Yeah. So, well, now we done turned in on LinkedIn. I don't know. I just,
And then you had these people like getting back to because I see it all the time. Because even like getting back to Gargamel, because he swears that CDI does not have to know coding, and you have people who don't work in CDI weighing in. Like, if you ever did a day of inpatient CDI, you see why you need to know coding. How can you not?
mm,
How? When everything is based off the DRG is based off of ICD-10-CM and ICD-10-PCS codes, period. Point blank.
period.
So if you don't know that if this condition is not validated, if you're going to knock down the principal diagnosis, you have to also know, well, what are you going to make the principal diagnosis? How is that, and what is that going to do to the DRG?
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Mm.
People just need to stay in their lanes. And if you
That's
want to change lanes, then change lanes. Go and get the knowledge to change lanes and come on over.
true. But until then, hush.
That's right.
Back away from the keyboard.
Eat
This
your
keyboard,
vegetables and be quiet.
this keyboard courage gets them every
Yes.
time, don't it? Gets them every time. I love it. Well, with that, this is Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, with my co-host, Mr. Jesse, the coding nurse, reminding you that excellence is not an accident, it's a choice. And Professional Reimbursement Network is here to support you every step of the way. So you don't have to be out there wondering, what should I say? What should I not say? Do I know this? Do I not? No, you don't. Join our community at Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC. We provide ongoing education, compliance updates, and practical strategies for navigating this complex environment of healthcare revenue cycle. You don't have to figure this out alone. We'll help you along. You want to post? we'll give you something to say or not to say.
Yes.
So if you're, oh, wait, let me get I forgot the PDF. All right. If you are thirsty for fresh perspectives on the healthcare revenue cycle, think about becoming one of the PRNT sippers. You'll join a community of sharp minds who savor the complexities of the healthcare revenue cycle. Why sip alone when you can steep in knowledge together? Come. Let's spill the tea on industry insights. Here's what you can expect as a valued member of the PRNT sippers. Exclusive healthcare insights. Gain access to in-depth articles, webinars, and resources covering the latest healthcare trends, compliance updates, and revenue cycle best practices. Early access. Be the first to receive expert insights and guides, ensuring you stay ahead in the ever-evolving healthcare industry. Personalized support. Enjoy direct access to our team of experts for guidance on medical coding, compliance issues, and revenue cycle management. We're here to answer your questions and support your professional growth. And we stay in our lanes and know when to pass it off to somebody else.
There you go.
And my favorite, the community connection. Join a private community of healthcare professionals where you can network, share experiences, and collaborate on finding solutions to common challenges. So by supporting us, you're not only advancing your healthcare knowledge and career, but also contributing to the success of the Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC, a resource that empowers healthcare professionals like you to thrive in their roles, goals, and dreams. So thank you for considering becoming a member of the Tea Sippers. For as little as $1 per month, you can join the community. Check out the link in the description of the video, or you can see the QR code on the screen. Your support means the world to us, and we look forward to helping you excel in the world of health information, healthcare, revenue cycle things. Yes. So for our Saturday morning tea family, thank you for spending your Saturday morning here with us. I know your time is precious, especially early in the morning, and we don't take it lightly that you chose to spend it here. At the Saturday Morning Tea, we're all about building a community of savvy, informed, marketable healthcare professionals. So like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let's grow this community together. Mr. Jesse, do you have any closing thoughts for today?
No, great show. Great topic.
Well, keep in mind, you already have everything you need to lead with confidence. You just might need the right coaching to unlock it, right? And
That's
we can
right.
be those coaches. So tune in next week as we'll be discussing another hot healthcare informational topic that you won't want to miss. This is Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, reminding you to stay educated and stay elevated. And that in healthcare, knowledge isn't just power, it's protection. You don't want them folks knocking on your door talking about recoveries. Remember, be safe, be kind, and don't wish for it, work for it. Until next time, take care, have a great weekend, and we will talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.